Well, howdy there, Internet students. Mr. Hermanson again. Today we're going to use proportions to help us convert currencies. So whatever country you go to, if they have a different currency, you have to make that calculation of what your dollar is worth. Okay, so let's start with here. Just make sure we understand our own currency. How many pennies would you get? Go ahead and fill in these three. Pause now and then check back, see if you got them right. All right, so we just converted in our own currency. Now, if you're traveling to another country, you would want to know the current exchange rate for the US dollar. Currency is legal tender of a country. For the United States, we use a dollar. The exchange rate for the US dollar with foreign currencies changes daily. We say it fluctuates. The exchange rate for a dime to a penny would be 1 dime equals 10 pennies. The exchange rate for a penny to a dime would be 1 penny equals a tenth of a dime, and so on. So it's kind of like a unit rate. So how many pennies would you get for 3 dimes? You would take 3 times 10. But and that's not really a hard problem for you, but you can see how you could use a proportion to do that. You would get for 1 dime, so I'll just put a D for dime, you get 10 pennies, right? That's a P for penny. Okay, now we have 3 dimes, so we're going to put that on top. And then we would just do the math. Since we would do 10 times 3, which is 30, divided by 10 is 3. Oops, sorry, that was 3. 10 times 3 is 30, divided by 10 is... Careful how you write it, I just thought that was a 10. So, 30 pennies. All right. What would be the exchange rate for a nickel to a penny? So it would be 1 nickel to 5 pennies. What would be the exchange rate for a penny to a nickel? That would be 1 penny to 1/5 of a nickel, or 0.2 nickels. All right. So using the exchange rate you found, set up a proportion that will help you figure out how many nickels you would get for 35 pennies. So for 1 nickel, let's do it this way, nickels, pennies. For 1 nickel, we get 5 pennies. We want to figure it out for 35 pennies. And so that would be our number of nickels for that. Now notice that this number is 7 times bigger, so that means we need to multiply by 7 to get our number of nickels. So 7 nickels. Okay, we're going to use our calculator to help us in this one. You're going to get an exchange rate. You're going to use that for your ratio, and then you're going to solve some problem with it. Okay, so here's how that's going to work. It's the exchange rate in Europe when Sarah went to Ireland is 1 US dollar equals 0.69638 euros, which is 69,638 10,000ths of a euro. So basically about 0.69 euros. So let's set this up. We paid 159.50 euros for a digital camera. What was the cost in US dollars? So let's write our ratio like this. Remember this is US on top, euros on bottom. So that's 0.069638 equals, now this is in euros here, so we want to put that on the bottom with the euros, 179.50. And then up here we're going to get the US dollars. I'll use D for dollars. All right, so I'm going to take my calculator and multiply cross 1 times 179.5, which we know is 179.5, right? And then I'm going to divide that by the 0.6 0.69638. Now, notice that it was just a division problem since we had 1 on the top there. And so if you can figure that out when you multiply, when you divide, that'd be awesome. Now, personally, I could tell that I would have needed to divide because for each 0.6938 euros in this number of euros, that equals $1. So I want to know how many times this number goes into that number. So I would divide to figure that out. But anyway, so we end up with, we're going to have to round this. Since it's in dollars, we always round to the nearest penny. So it'd be $257.76 for that one. All right. Now, when you do your homework, you do not have to put in the $sign. You can just put in the number. Okay. Zen lives in Mexico for a summer vacation. He went to China to visit family members. While visiting, he bought a bracelet that cost 34.5 pesos. The bracelet would cost about 23.48796 Chinese. I think you pronounce that yen. What is the exchange rate of pesos to yuan? So we're going to write our ratio here, 34.50. This is pesos on top. Good to remember that. And on the bottom we have yen. And that's 23.48796. Okay. Now, to get the exchange rate, basically we just want the unit rate. And since we want pesos to yen, we're going to divide pesos by yen, just like I have this here. So 34.50 divided by 23.48796 equals 1.46. There's a bunch of other decimals in there. We're going to have to round it somewhere. Since we have an 8 coming next, let's put one more digit in there, a 7. And then we're going to say pesos per yen. All right, so basically what we're saying is there's 1.467 pesos per 1 yen. So 1 yen equals 1.4. We could write it that way also. 1 yen equals 1.467 pesos. All right. Vincent traveled abroad with several of his school's foreign language club members. The students visit Switzerland, the United Kingdom, Romania. Each student had to raise $800 for travel money. How much would the $800 be worth in euros and in Swiss francs? All right, I did a couple problems like this. Use this ratio. Use those two ratios to help you figure it out. Check back, see if you got the answers right. All right, here's the answers I got. I hope yours agree. Okay, so we're going to describe the relationship with an equation, graph the equation. Okay, so 1 euro equals 1.45 US dollars. So basically, we're going to take the number of dollars that we have, so proportionally that looks like this. 1 euro is equal to, or 1 euro equals 1.45 US dollars. So if I needed to find my euros, let's do that here. Proportionally, I would take this times this divided by 1.45. So I can do dollars divided by 1.45. Now I could also do it the other way. I could do dollars is equal to, then I would do this times this and divide that by 1. So 1.45 times however many euros I have. Now I'm going to graph this one because it looks a little more familiar to us. So, so we need to come up with a scale. So here's the scale I came up with. I thought that we should maybe skip every other one on the bottom just because euros are worth a little more than a dollar. So, and then we have to sort of estimate. 0, of course, would be 0. 0 euros, $0. Let's go ahead and make a little table here. So I'll put D here and E here, euros and dollars. Okay, and we're going to go up to 7 because we need to graph that. Now I'm going to multiply $1.45 or 1.45 times the euros to get the dollars. So 2 times 1.45 is 290, and so on. Basically, I need to just add $1 or 1.45 for every euro to my dollars. So I get 435, 580. Since this is in dollars, I'm going to round it to 2 places. 725, 870, and 1015. All right, and then if I graph those, I have to estimate, but $1.45 is somewhere around here, and then 290 is about there, and 435 is about right there. 580 is almost 6, and so on. And you can continue this. But you should get dots that line up pretty straight. So what we're going to say is, we know that it's proportional because of this 0, 0 in the point. And that it goes up by the same amount. Okay? All right. For number 6, it says, in January 2008, Aaron went to the bank and exchanged 50 Australian dollars for $56.61 US dollars. Later the day, Alia went to the same bank to exchange 72 Australian dollars for 4 US dollars. So we're gonna try and exchange these Australian dollars into US dollars. So let's do 50 Australian dollars. So put A up there, and then US dollars we'll put a D, and that's 56.61. Now we want to change Australian dollars for US dollars, so we're going to put the 72 down there. And so our Australian, whoops, put that in the wrong spot. Sorry about that. Let's flip those over. We're going to exchange 72 Australian dollars for US dollars. So we'll go like that. Okay, so that's one way you could do it. Another way you could do it is you could find out how many dollars you get for each Australian dollar first. So I divided these two out, and I got that 1 Australian dollar is equal to 1.1322 US dollars. So Australian dollar is worth a little bit more than a US dollar. And then we could just put the 72 there and get it that way. So either way should work. And if you solve one of those proportions, you should get $81.52 for that. All right. Well, that's it. Go ahead and work on that homework, and we'll talk to you soon.